Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a great week. So, as discussed last week, you can see that we pretty much came down to gap fill and we're trying to use that as support and push higher. So, the two scenarios that we had last week still exist. So, as long as we stay above this 4 5 5 4 3 2 level, we still have a shot to make one more high before the market comes down. Kind of like you see this too many lines anyway. You see this yellow path, right? Kind of follow along this yellow path. And then we have the bigger wave 4 downfall. Alternatively, if we've already put in a wave 3, you can see that, this will still again lead to a bounce, which is what it's doing, but we must somehow stay under 5630-ish to 5655. But within that range, you must see a rejection and then we'll probably push lower in somewhat of this pattern.
This short clip is presented by Chase. Fast track your learning curve and profit with our LaDuc Trading Slack community. It is ideal for beginners who love the chase. Chase provides access to not only Samantha's daily market thoughts and chase trades, but also her fabulous team of live stage mentors who share their actual trades and risk management stops across equities, options, and futures. You also get access to custom trade support when you need it. For more information, visit www.laductrading.com/chase.
So those are still the two patterns that we are observing, but something to keep a note is we did push 18.8 level on Wix, and that is also the top of this channel. I know I have a lot of lines, but if you look here, you can see here it's the top of the channel. So the VIX, unless it gets over 18.85, it's not bearish for the market, right? If it does, then yeah, it's not good to stay in because there can be a lot of volatility because it would bring almost a 2-year breakout of this downturn. But yeah, given of where we are, and you can see that we kind of put in a shooting star and then a bearish reversal candle. Ideally, we push down to 14.4. We could bounce off of 14.4, but if we start to break 14.4, then we come back to the bottom of the channel at 10.7. So the VIX should be able to give you clues on where the market is heading. The dollar, again, you can see we just bounced off of support, but we're still hovering near the resistance level. It could still bounce into the 104.8 level, but we would need to break over 104.8 to be bearish the market. And in the yields, if you look at it, they're a lot more bearish than they're bullish. You can see that this is a downtrend line and we're unable to break above. So, I mean, technically we're just channel hopping. The yields could push down into 4.3%. So yeah, all that could pretty much give you clues on the market. I mean, initially at the first glance, what it's kind of saying is we could, again, as I've said, I do think that we could follow the yellow path to make that. Again, it probably may not go that high, right? All it needs to do is break the previous high. So somewhere around this range is where I'm looking for this to finish off this wave 5 before it heads down. But yeah, again, your bearish pivot would be a break of 5430, 5420 to the downside. So let's look at this week's watch list. Even that's what I think. You can see that NVDA, right, we pushed down into this gap level. So as long as we hold above 106, we could continue up. So if you break like 115, it does, you can see here, we do have a gap to fill. We do have a gap to fill till 122, and then we probably have another gap till 126. So that's what I'm looking for. You break over 105, you can push into 122 and 126. And alternatively, on the bearish side, we do have a gap to 95. So 106 breaks, it should directly fall into this 96 level. So this is your bullish and bearish pivot on NVIDIA. The next one I have is Airbnb. Again, I've discussed this a bunch. You can see that we have broken below 144 and we're trying to break down. So again, if we can push below 140, it does have a gap to fill to like 134. So that's primarily what I'm looking for. If it breaks 140, we're likely going to push down into 134. It does obviously have a gap higher. So maybe we push up to 143 and reject into 134. But if you start to get above this 145 again, then again, this would just be an ABC and we likely, go push higher into the higher gaps that it has. Watch for a rejection or watch for a break of 140 on Airbnb. The next one I have is coin. Again, this is just on bullish Bitcoin momentum. And this obviously, this like 250 level is a resistance. So yeah, if coin can break over 250, we should be able to push into the top of the channel around 300 T27. So yeah, but again, it is looking iffy. It does not have a super bullish structure. So it must stay over 230. You break 230, we likely, come down into 164, which is this channel. So far, we're just kind of hovering. in the middle of the channel. Last but not the least, we have PGD. We've covered this a bunch. It is bearish, right? China's bearish. Any bounce will likely get shorted. But yeah, for this, it could have an oversold bounce, so it must stay below 131, and it should be able to continue lower. You can see this was the channel on PDD that it broke down. Again, had that one last push, so this is kind of what I'm showing you on the market. If you look at ES, we broke down, but stocks usually have the last push. So yeah, it had the last push, which is why I think any bounce is again bearish to the downside on PDD. That's all I have for this week. I hope you have a great day.
Subscribe to LaDuc Trading YouTube channel for more Wolf's weekly wave list videos and other content.